So after the first two miscarriages at 18 weeks, we're told we definitely need a cyclage. And now we were in agreement with what the doctor had said because we've tried the traditional means, it didn't work. So we had to go through the route of medical means. So at 14 weeks, 13, 14 weeks, we planned for a cervical cyclage. We visited the doctor. We registered on time. As soon as we noticed that we're pregnant, we registered for antenatal. We started the process. Doctor asked about my history and they already booked me for a procedure for the cyclage. The very day of the cyclage, now, yes, the very day of the cyclage, you would definitely go through a scan process for them to ascertain the baby is okay, to check if the cervix was already dilating or something, so the doctor knows what he's getting into in there. So we had that routine check with the for the scan. While during the scan, the sinogram was like, oh, what's going on? He showed us, he made a sign like, oh, something is up. And we had to ask what the problem was. That was when he told us that if we are aware we were having a set of twins. We're not aware, guy. What are you saying? Twin from where? Where to where? I don't have a twin in my family. Although my husband had told me about twin in his mother's family. So we're all surprised. Wow, we were expecting a twin. That was how we got to know on that day of the cyclist placement that we're expecting a twin. To our utmost surprise, we're happy, we're joyed, we're over the joy of my husband was over the roof. Like, we literally prayed for double for the loss, for God to bless us with double for the losses we've already had. So when this happened, we're like, ah, God, we see your hand here. God's actually involved in this. So fast forward, we had a cyclist placed. I was on bed rest for 2 weeks after the procedure just to ensure that everything was fine. And I returned back to work. Following my doctor's instruction, doctor gave me some restrictions not to use bike. Did he say not to use bike? He gave me some restrictions, but not major restrictions. He told me to live my normal life, just to take things easy. I should just take my normal, I should live my normal life, but to take things easy. That was the word, easy. And we should avoid sex, which was understandable. Normal routine drugs was given. There was no supportive drugs for the cyclist and all. For me now, I've done what doctor said. I'm good. Everything is fine. I was living my normal life. I was just taking things easy as doctor said and avoiding sex. While at it, this cyclist was placed around 14 weeks. There was a particular day I went out with my operations manager back then, Mrs. Gloria. Gloria, we both went to see a client at an agency. While at it, I felt pressed. I needed to use the restroom. Like, please excuse me, ma, I need to use the restroom. That's how I visited the ladies. They were actually waiting for me outside. Miss Gloria and the driver were actually waiting for me so I could join them because we're done with the clients. To my utmost surprise, it was a different story. I went to pee and I was seeing something else. I was feeling something else. Like, I felt the water coming out of me. I quickly came out and I told Mrs. Laura, ma, I need to be to the hospital now. I need to go to the hospital right now. We're supposed to do other jobs to see other clients, but I was rushed to the hospital. This was in GRA Ikeja, right? My hospital was in Aripo, where my office is. We had to quickly rush back from Ikeja in Lagos State back to Aripo to see my doctor. At this point, I knew things were going bad. I knew something was wrong. I was already losing my ammonic fluid. The water was already coming out. I was already losing my ammonic fluid basically. I was rushed to the hospital. Now, mind you, I never expected this to happen because all they said was you need a cyclage. And this has been done. I was following doctor's instruction. I was taking the medications given. So what's going on? I was wheeled into the theater, and I had to be evacuated basically. There was nothing we could do. The water was coming out, babies were coming out. when the whole thing started, the plan was, okay, let's try to keep one baby. Since there were two, one was already forcefully coming out. Okay, let's try to keep one baby and ensure that he has enough water in there to survive and all. This was around 18 weeks. What was 18 weeks to 26, 27 weeks? You could see the difference, like the time lifespan needed for that child to grow to full term. It was a lot. After the first one came out, it took a while. The second one was still there. We're still trying to buy time, thinking maybe it will not happen. Maybe the doctor was like, he's going to ensure that we don't lose the second one. But unfortunately, we lost both. Was evacuated. Placenta was evacuated. It was hell. It was hell. You know when they say something was hell, it was not just about me now losing the pregnancy. It was the thought of, this was actually a blessing from God. This was a set of twin boys. Twin boys. They were formed. They were already formed. Twin boys. That happened, and yeah, I'll be talking about the next phase in my next video. I believe that this has given an idea of how this happened. Even with the cyclage, there was still a loss at 18 weeks. So the cyclage did not hold. The cyclage was not successful. So that's to tell you that it goes beyond having a cyclage to have a successful pregnancy when you have an insufficient cervix or an incompetent cervix. You need beyond just a cyclage.